Good morning students. Today we will see about the small intestine. Okay. Small intestine is, why it is called small intestine? Because it is a smaller in diameter. That is why it is called the small intestine. Small intestine means it is formed from the C-shaped structure. So this is small intestine means duodenum, jejunum and the ileum. This is the ileocecal junction. So duodenum, jejunum, ileum. This is called the small intestine. Okay. First we will see about the duodenum. The duodenum is nearly the C-shaped structure. It is the first part of the total, the centimeter of the duodenum. This one about 25 centimeter. If you see, the duodenum is divided into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. If you part 1, if you see nearly the 5 centimeter, it is present in the level of the L1 vertebral column. It is in the level. So the anteriorly, this one, it is related with the gallbladder. Okay. Anteriorly gallbladder, and posteriorly will be the hepatic artery will be present in the posterior side. Okay. So second one, it is called the descending one. It is nearly 7.5. If you see the cut section of this one, major and minor papillae are present over here. Okay. The anteriorly will be a transverse colon and the jejunum. Posteriorly will be the right related with the hilus, the renal vessels, and the right colic flexures will be present in the anterior side. The third part is called the horizontal one. It is nearly by length by the 10 centimeter in length. It crosses the L2. Here we seen L1. This crosses the L2. And then it crosses the anteriorly. It is present by the superior mesenteric vessels will be present, and posteriorly will be the IVC, right gonadal vessels are present over here. And then the final part will be the part 4 will be nearly smallest one. It is nearly 2.5 centimeter in length. It is to the left, it is L2 will be present. Okay. Then blood supply all will be by the celiac arteries. Celiac arteries are presenting, and will be the superior mesenteric arteries will become. This is the pancreas. So pancreoduodenal arteries will be coming. So superior pancreoduodenal artery and inferior pancreoduodenal artery. So in the first and the third part, in the middle, this is called the pancreas. This is the present by the pancreas. So lymphatic drainage will be the hepatic and the superior mesenteric lymph nodes, and will be the nerve supply will be the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Sympathetic nerves will be T5 and T12. Parasympathetic will be vagus nerve. Okay. Applied anatomy here, like in the stomach we have seen, here will be mostly will be seeing the duodenal ulcer, and then due to hyperacidity, duodenal atresia, sometimes atresia. The lumen of this one will be small. So sometimes it will be completely closed due to some of the congenital anomaly of the newborn children. Understand? Next will be the jejunum and ileum. What is called jejunum and ileum? Jejunum and ileum is also the small intestine. The small intestine extend jejunum and ileum, small intestine extending from the duodenum, and it is formed the jejunum first. So the 2/5 of the part is the jejunum, and the ileum will be the later part will be this one. So here will be a 2.2 to 2.5 meter will be the jejunum, and the ileum will be 3 to 3.5 meter will be there. If you see the characteristics of the jejunum and ileum, if you see the main characteristics will be the jejunum ileum, color will be the jejunum in red in color, ileum will be the pink in color. The walls of diameter 3.4 and here will be 2.3 centimeter. Vasa recta will be a long, and here will be vasa recta will be the short one. Vascular arcades will be the less, and here will be more. And the pilaci circularis will be the more closely arranged, here will be less. And Peyer's patches will be few in number, and Peyer's patches will be more. If you see the walls of the small intestine, there will be the walls of the small intestine, which will composed of the 4 layers of the tissues. In the small intestine, mucosa show number of the folds and these folds are looks like a finger like a projections are present. This finger like projections in the small intestine, which is called the villi. So this the total, it is distributed throughout the total surface of the surface of the small intestine. So each villi will be showing some of the goblet cells. If you see the goblet cells, villi are larger, broader, and also it's like a finger like a projection which is present over there. This is the capillaries are present inside the villi. This length of the villi will be the 0.5 to 1 millimeter in length. It is all villi is covered by the columnar epithelial cells. It inside which have a network of the capillaries, and central will be the lymph capillaries will be there. So the tubular glands will be secretes on the surfaces of this. The epithelial cells also will be migrates upwards walls of the villi. So the entire epithelium will be always will be replaced by the 3 to 5 days it will be replaced. Okay, during migration of these epithelial cells produce some of the digestive enzymes. So these digestive enzymes will be helpful for the digestion of the carbohydrate, protein and the fat. So there are numerous notes also present over here throughout this one. So what will happen to this one? When the food is coming from chyme, from the stomach to the small intestine, it is called the chyme. Okay, from the esophagus to stomach, it's a bolus. From the stomach to over here is the chyme. Okay, what is the main functions of this small intestine? Well, like a stomach, it is also doing some of the mixing functions. So it is all will be the segments like a movements are present. So it's alternatively segments like a movements which will lead to the mixing up of the food. And propulsion movement. Propulsion movement is like a kind of a peristaltic movement, so that the chyme will be cross over the entire intestine. So there is a peristaltic wave usually will be weak and start distance. Sometimes in the small intestine peristaltic rush will be happening. What is called peristaltic rush? For example, we are giving some irritants like some purgatives or some Vaseline, something we are giving as an enema. It will be rush and all the content of then the peristaltic wave will be very much fast. The another one is called digestion and absorption function will be there. What is digestion and absorption? Like a carbohydrate, fat and protein, or the or digestive. This the final components will be the glucose, amino acids. These all the carbohydrate, protein, fat are converted into the final form as the glucose, fat and amino acids. So there is the enzymes which is secreted in the digestive juice. Also pancreatic juice, bile from the liver. It helps to the digestion and absorption of the fat. So the digestion and absorption function is one of the main important functions of the small intestine. It is mainly taken place by the small called the villi. The juice containing this digestion and absorption, mainly juice, 95.5% of this water only there. What all the enzymes are present over here? This all the enterokinase are there, eripsin is there, typepsidase enzymes are there, nucleolase and nucleotidase will be the enzymes are present in the small intestine. Okay, what's happening? So what are all the hormones which is secreted? I told you in the beginning of the class, the digestion system is called the second brain in our body. For example, the hormone secrete, the duodenum secretes the enterogastric hormone. It inhibits the stomach and it moves to the food is coming to the jejunum, and it is secretes the hormone is called secretin and the CCK. This secretin and CCK is coming when the food is coming to the small intestine. It will stimulate the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, where there is a gallbladder immediately will be opening. There will be a bile also secreted. Sphincter of Oddi will be opening. The bile also secreted and coming. So it also has secreting. When the food is not coming, it is not going to secrete that much amount of the hormone. Next we will see about the pancreas. So the pancreas is a leaf-like structure which is present situated in the middle of the duodenum. It is present over this middle of the. This is the Pancreas is a flush like a gland. It is called the exocrine gland as well as the endocrine gland. It has got various cells, alpha cells, beta cells and gamma cells. So each cells will be secreting one kind of a hormone. Okay, beta cells will be secreting insulin, gamma cells will be glucagon, and beta cells will be secreting islets of longer hand will be insulin will be secreted. So the parts, if you see, head, neck, body and the tail. Understand? Head lies in the concave part of the duodenum, in front inferior vena cava it is present, behind the transverse colon is present. Neck is like nearly 10 to 12 centimeter long. Okay, it is a exocrine and endocrine. Anterior border 2 layer will be there. Superior border has omental, it's present. Inferior border will be the superior mesenteric vein will be there. Okay, so this arterial supplies mainly by the splenic artery also it's supplying, and the superior and inferior mesenteric artery, pancreoduodenal arteries also will be supplying to the pancreas. The tail is present in this tail portion will be present nearby the splenic area. Here if you see, this is the flexure is called the left colic flexure will be there, and behind that there will be a left kidney will be present. So a nerve supply, if you see, sympathetic nerve as well as the parasympathetic nerve. T6 and T10, parasympathetic will be the vagus nerve. So ducts of the pancreas, hepatopancreatic ampulla will be present. This is the main duct which is tail and the right, which is the common bile duct. I will show you in the next picture. This is the duct will be present. This is a pancreatic duct where the ascending pancreatic duct from the descending pancreatic duct. Okay, so there will be a pancreatic juice will be secreted. What is the composition of pancreatic juice? Which cells will be secreting? So the acidic cells in the pancreas all secreting. Acidic cells secreting the pancreatic juice in their lumen. It opens in the bile duct. Okay, the common bile ducts open in the duodenum. Common bile ducts will be opening in the duodenum. How much ml of the pancreatic juice is secreted? Like a stomach, it's also secreting 500 to 1000 ml. What is the composition? Every juice you can blindly write the water and inorganic and the organic components. Water always 95.95% will be the water, and the organic inorganic components will be 0.5% will be there. Okay, so inorganic component, high concentration of the sodium bicarbonate will be present there. So organic component, proteolytic enzymes are present. What is called proteolytic enzymes? Trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxytrypsin. So these trypsinogen. So this trypsinogen is activated on trypsin and they convert into the chymotrypsin into the carboxytrypsin. So lipolytic enzymes are present. So these enzymes are that will be helpful for the digestion of carbohydrate. You may tell, what madam, from the stomach to? Yes, the food is from the stomach also, hydrochloric acid, amylase, lipase also, then it coming that these enzymes also helpful to digest the carbohydrate, fat and the other material. Okay, so this enzymes digest the carbohydrate. Pancreatic amylates act upon the starch. So this maltose, sucrose, lactose enzymes. So this also convert the disaccharides into the monosaccharides. So the pancreatic juice secretions, which is mainly controlled by hormone, is called the CCK. Where is the CCK secreted? As I told, CCK secreted from the small intestine. How does it is controlled? The question may be asked to you, how this control of secretion of the juices mainly. So what happened? The juice mainly secreted when the food is in the following phases. What are all the following phases? The food will be coming from the cephalic phase, from the site of the, what is cephalic phase? When the sight and the smell, the secretion of the pancreatic secretion will be secreted. Both the acinar cells will be secreting, and also will be the gastric phase. Gastric phase will be coming when the distended stomach, when the distended vasovagal reflection in the stomach, and then vasovagal reflection in the stomachs, and then will be a lower volume, and then pancreatic juice also will be coming. Protein also will be break down, and release of the gastrin will be there, and then gastrin will be released into the blood and lower. So intestinal phase, what will happen when the food is happening over here with the various phases, when it is coming to the intestine, when the chyme entering into the intestine, it is controlled by the secretion by the CCK. Okay, not by the hypothalamus, it's by the CCK. When the CCK hormone is released from the small intestine, and the secretin also will be secreted. So secretin secreted from the S cells. So these S cells, all the secretins causing the hydrochloric secretion to the large amount of the breakdown of the water. So these bicarbonates also, other enzymes CCK will be helping. Once the CCK is coming, the sphincter of Oddi also will be opening up. Once the sphincter of Oddi will be open, there will be a gastric juices will be directly will be entering into the small intestine. So the digestion process will be taken place.